Okay, this is the October 2021 P1 paper. Question number 3, as you can see from this brief look, it's inequalities. There's 2 parts to it, so the second part I'll do in a minute. Let's just focus on this first part, which is solving the inequality. Let's copy it down. Solving the inequality 3 over x is greater than 4. So the issue with this type of question is I want to take that up there and multiply by x, but you can't multiply by x in an inequality because you don't know whether x is positive or negative. If you're multiplying by a negative, you would change the sign of the inequality. So we're not allowed to do that, but what we are allowed to do is to multiply by x squared, because then I know I'm multiplying by a quadratic. I'm multiplying by a positive. So if I do that, quadratics on the brain, I'm going to end up with a quadratic here. We need to sort this quadratic out and just tidy it up. 4x squared minus 3x, like that. I'd rather write that the other way around, so I'm going to write 4x squared minus 3x is less than 0. Now, in order to solve this, then you've got to be really clear in the way that you're doing this. What I'm going to do is change it into an equation. And I'm going to use the words critical values. When I solve the equation, let's do that. 4x minus 3, which is going to give me x equals 0, or 4x minus 3 equals 0. It's going to give me x equals 0 or x equals 3/4. Those two are the critical values that I can now draw a quick sketch of to find out where this thing is less than 0. Don't take any time over the sketch at all. Okay, don't take ages over it. Don't focus too much on diagrams or accuracy. All I need to do is to say, I know it's a positive quadratic, so it's a U shape, and I now know that it hits at those 2 points. So if I want, when is the graph less than 0, which I do, that now gives me my answer to my region, which is less than 3 over 4, but greater than 0. Please, please, please try and make sure you've got a sketch associated with the final part of that answer. Okay, so that's part 1 done. Let's have a look at part 2. We haven't really looked at it properly. Let's go back and look at the graph. So part 2 says we've got this graph here. It says L is, read it, but it says L is a straight line and has a gradient of 3. So I'm going to say y equals 3x plus c for that one then. And it also tells me that the curve is y equals 2x squared minus 50. It says they intersect over here on the negative x-axis. Right, I really need to find that point then, because what I'm going to try and do is just say what defines this region. So even before I know enough information, I can say it's underneath the quadratic, so it's going to be less than 2x squared minus 50. It's greater than my straight line graph. It's going to be y greater than 3x plus c, but I don't know what c is yet. But also, really importantly, it's going to be x less than that value, and I need to know what that value is. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, because that's easy, because I've got my curve y equals 2x squared minus 50, and it hits the x-axis at those 2 points, so that's just going to be y equals 0. Right, so I've got my game plan for doing this then. So for part 2, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's work out that point. Y equals 2x squared minus 50. So hits axis at y equals 0. So that's 2x squared minus 50 equals 0. 2x squared equals 50. X squared equals 25. X is going to be plus or minus 5. I'll just go back just to sketch it on there. That's 5, and that's minus 5. Brilliant. So I now know my 3 inequalities. The only thing I don't know at the moment is what the c is on my straight line. So now we're going to use the idea that this straight line is hitting the curve. So this point here now becomes mega important because it's where the line hits the curve and also where x equals -5. Make sure you understand that because that's what I'm going to be doing here. So for the second part, I'm going to say line and curve meet at x equals -5 and where 3x plus c equals 2x squared minus 50. So if we put x equals -5 in, we get -15 plus c equals, well, that's going to cancel, 50 minus 50. I'm going to get c minus 15 equals 0. C is just going to be equal to 15. So now I know that my straight line is y equals 3x plus 15. For the region R, we can say, go back and have a look at it. I'll show you at the end. But y is less than 2x squared minus 50. Y is greater than 3x plus 15. And x is less than -5. That's going to be the answer for it. Just quickly look at that. Sorry about having to go up and down all the time. But that's how I defined that area there. Okay, hopefully that one makes sense.